Welcome friends. Today we are going to derive heat conduction equation in Cartesian coordinates. So now let us proceed. Okay. Now we have to start with an element, and that too in three axes, in three-dimensional element. So we have considered an element. Let us assume directions like axis. See, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. This element is having dimension dx, dy and dz along x, y and z axis respectively. Now it's time to think of mass of element. Mass will be what? Density times volume. Okay. So mass density multiplied by volume, which is dx, dy, dz. So I got mass of element. Now let us think of general heat balance. So what it means? My dear friends, it means we have to balance heat in a generalized way. So let us think of, if I consider a system, so there is a chance of heat entering into the system, heat going out to from the system, heat generating within the system, and heat energy stored within the system. Okay, so heat input plus heat generation must be equals to heat out plus heat stored. So if I think of this quantity Q in minus Q out, so that will be what? Net flow in a specific direction. So for 3D element we will be having Q net in x direction, y direction and z direction. So my dear friends, this is a single most equation we have to take care of. यही इक्वेशन का हमें ध्यान रखना है कि सर इसमें Q net निकालो, Q generation निकालो, Q storage निकालो, substitute कर दो, then you will get generalized heat conduction equation. So are you ready for that? Let us proceed. So let us first think of net heat flow in a specific direction, and after that net heat flow considering all the directions. So Q net is equals to Q net in x direction plus Q net in y direction plus Q net in z direction, which is shown here. Now let us think about a specific direction, and that too x direction. So my dear friends, now let us think of that particular diagram. See, this direction is x direction, this direction. Okay. Now in x direction I have two faces to take care. This is the face where I will consider heat is entering, and that is calculated by using this formula, that is Fourier's law of heat conduction. We know that in Fourier's law we have to consider thermal conductivity, and that I have considered in x direction. Then area, which is what? See, y and z axes are involved, so dy dz. And then temperature gradient in x direction. So in this way I have written Qx. Now let us write Qx plus dx, means now I am interested in this phase. Now if you think of this particular phase, this is dx apart from phase x, means this previous phase. Okay, so that's why I have written qx plus dx. Now my dear friends, if you want to write qx plus dx, think of Taylor series, which we have studied in mathematics. So let us think of Taylor series in a simple way. What you want x plus dx, heat transfer at this phase. So which will be equals to heat transfer here, means qx, that is shown here, qx, okay, plus see, there will be some change when heat will be flowing from here to here. There will be some change. Now heat is flowing in which direction? X direction. That's why I have considered that particular change in x direction. See, this dy dx is indicating change in heat. For how much distance? For dx distance. Okay. So in this way we have written expression for qx plus dx. Similarly, we can write for qy plus dy and qz plus dz. Now my dear friends, let us think of q net now, which will be equals to q in minus q out. We are done, qx minus qx plus dx. So q net will be equals to qx minus qx plus dx. We have already written expression for qx plus dx. So if you simplify, you will get to this point. Again, I have substituted value of qx from this expression. Okay. Now see, here we have minus sign and minus sign. So which will get multiply and will get positive sign. And one more thing we have to take care of, we have to think of. See, we know that we never differentiate constant, we always take constant terms outside. So you focus here, dy dz is what? Area, which is constant, area of that element. So I have taken that area outside, dy dz. So I got a term dx dy dz here, and rest of the terms, see, we can't take out kx outside, dabba ty, dabba x outside. Why? Because temperature is varying in x direction, and we have assumed that thermal conductivity is varying in x direction as of now in generalized way. So similarly, you can write this expression like q net in y direction will be equals to dabba by dabba y of ky, dabba t by dabba y, and then dx dy dz. See, there is specific pattern. If you write down for q net in x direction, then you can directly write these expressions for y and z direction. Okay, fine. So we are done with q net. What is still there? जो काम हमें करना है अभी क्या बाकी है? सर क्यू जनरेशन बाकी है, क्यू स्टोरेज निकालना है. चलो देखेंगे क्यू जनरेशन क्यू स्टोरेज क्या आता है. नाउ to calculate Q generation, first thing I will tell you, my dear friends, heat generation is volumetric phenomena. Surfaces can't generate heat. To generate heat, there must be a body, not surface. So one thing is clear, that there should be volume. So let us assume we have Qg amount of heat generation per unit volume with unit watt per meter cube. So for dx, dy, dz volume, how much heat will be generated? For dx, dy, dz, this much heat will be generated. You multiply per unit volume by volume of the body. You will get heat generated for that particular volume of the body. Now it's time to think of heat storage. Now what is heat storage, sir? The body will try to increase self temperature. So in that process, that particular body will absorb heat, will store heat. So that heat storage will be calculated by using this particular expression. So what is there? Mass of the system m, specific heat Cp, then change in temperature with respect to change in time. My dear friends, as we are thinking of rate of heat transfer, that's why we have to consider this change in time. Otherwise I will end up with unit joule, but I don't want that. I want rate of heat transfer, heat rate, and that's why I have taken dabba small t at the denominator. Fine. So yes, now we are done with the preparation, the background which is required there to get to the final solution. So now final step is substitute all quantities in equation number 1, that is generalized heat balance. So I have substituted, this thing is Q net, okay, then this thing is Q generation and this is Q storage. So let us take common. See, dx dy dz is common, that will be cancelled out. So here I have considered that material is isotropic. It means the property will not vary in specific direction. So that's why I have considered the property which is thermal conductivity kx, ky, kz equals to k, means is constant. So that's why that constant will be getting out. See, this will shift outside of differentiation, correct? So dabba by dabba x of dabba t by dabba x, that will become dabba square t by dabba x square for y, for z. After that I have divided throughout by k. So I'll have one term, that is rho Cp by k. But from our discussion you know that k by rho Cp is what? Thermal diffusivity, which will tell us how fast heat is penetrating through a body. So I have substituted alpha for thermal diffusivity, and yes, now we are in position to define final expression, and that expression is dabba square t by dabba x square plus dabba square t by dabba y square plus dabba square t by dabba z square plus q generation by k equals to 1 by alpha dabba t by dabba small t, which is time. So my dear friends, if you observe this expression carefully, you will get that temperature is a function of x coordinate, y coordinate, z coordinate and time. So this is called as generalized heat conduction equation. So thank you for attending. Thank you. Keep enjoying, keep learning.